Who are you? I'm your art demon. Oh, yeah, right. It's been a while. Did you do something different? Got a haircut? So, you wanna grab a cup of coffee and catch up? G'day art adventurers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about art failures and how to move past them, or maybe how not to move past them. That's part of why I haven't posted in the last few days. Sorry about that. But first, we're going to talk about the letter K and the animal for the letter K, which actually went okay. I received a kakapo. If you haven't heard of a kakapo before, and sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, it's a New Zealand parrot. It's the largest flightless parrot in the world, or the heaviest one, I think. And apart from being flightless, its eyes are forward-facing, and it has facial disc feathers like an owl does, so it can hear better. And those two features of it being flightless with the forward-facing eyes and its long beak make it really quite an unusual bird, a real cute one and a very strange one. They almost have gone extinct, unfortunately, because of introduced species like rats and other animals that either kill them or eat their eggs, unfortunately. But the people in New Zealand are working hard to hopefully save them. And I totally recommend jumping onto YouTube and looking up some of the videos showing kakapo, K-A-K-A-P-O, if you haven't heard of one before, because they're super cute and it's great to see the videos of them. So I've decided to draw a whole family of kakapo. And before I talk about that, I just want to say congratulations to Faye Wolf. She actually somehow guessed that I would have to draw a kakapo, so huge props to you. Or 50% props to you, because I think you also guessed it could also be a kookaburra for K. But still, I'm amazed that you got it was a kakapo. And so I've combined a few different reference photos. You might have also seen my mini sketchbook at the start of this with some thumbnails being shown before I started drawing. That's the first time in this whole series I've actually done or bothered to do thumbnails before I just jumped in. It's because that day was a Saturday and I was just sketching out some different ideas while I was playing Dungeons and Dragons with my D&D group. And so I got a few different ideas together, and then I combined two of them and put in a couple of eggs to make it a whole little kakapo family. I used a green Prismacolor Colorays pencil for the outlines, and then, and some of it I think I showed in real time, just so you could see I actually am not super fast at drawing. It's just it's sped up, I think 15 times usually, so it looks like I'm super quick. I'm trying to get faster, but I don't think I'm particularly fast at drawing yet. And so, yeah, in terms of materials, I used my Amsterdam acrylic metallic marker, of course. It seems to just be coming back all the time. And some different Touch 5 alcohol markers, and now a green jelly roll pen you can see going down. And then I'll decide there's not enough contrast still, so I'll do some of the outlines and inking with Zebra Sensations brush pens. And that, I think, ties it all together pretty well, except for the circle background, right? And they've got to have the circle background. And so the circle background, I bust out my Copic markers for this one. I just knew that there was a color that this deep kind of bluish purple that I already knew from my Copic markers that I just wanted to use. And I think maybe I was also a bit sick of my Touch 5 markers bleeding everywhere. I should do a comparison and review of them, but the long story short is just don't buy the Touch 5 markers. There's a whole bunch of issues with them. But anyway, this all seems to come together, in my opinion, okay, and I'm pretty happy with the final result, that the kakapos look pretty cute overall. And sorry for the beeping there, my little Discord chat is up and I forgot to disable it. So that is the letter K. But the letter L, ooh, that was a doozy. No one guessed it for a start. I received a lemur. And at first, I was super excited by the idea of getting to draw a lemur or lemurs, and I looked up a whole different bunch of lemur types and eventually found a reference that I wanted to base it from. And I had the idea to work in graphite and charcoal for it and to try to find a quick way to do fur textures. Especially the lemur that I find, it has a really prominent, fuzzy, big tail. And so you can see the materials there that I'm mostly going to, or attempt to work in pencil and graphite. But I just find it goes horribly wrong. And it explains to me pretty clearly why people take a very long time to do fur detailing normally. And it's a very slow process if you want it to be looking realistic. But in my crazy mind, I thought I could just bust it out really quickly in 20 minutes. And it all just turned into a grayscale, muddy mess. I also found it, I don't know, I think I just had an off day for drawing and just using tools as well, because I found it really hard to get the head right on the lemur, and I had all the proportions really quite wrong. And I know partly that's because I just didn't even bother to think about measurements that well, and I was just kind of drawing it from the top of my head while glancing at the reference occasionally, which is never a good idea. Especially lemurs have a face that's quite human-like, right? They're primates. So you've got to be paying close attention, or you should be paying close attention. Don't follow my example. So I guess this brings us to the topic of art demons and getting to the point of having an art fail and what should you do from that? And at first, I took the easy way out of just stopping. Of just stopping and calling it a day and thinking I was going to just skip that day or leave it as that and just declare it, look, there's an art fail, moving on to the next letter. But the next day, I felt really conflicted about it and down on myself for not having, I don't know, not achieved it, or I guess just not producing something that I wanted to, of the quality that I wanted to. And so I just kind of froze. The art demon got me, I guess, and I was stuck thinking, should I move on, or should I tinker with it some more, or am I able to draw and continue? And just feeling bad for not reaching my personal standard, I guess. But then the next day, after taking a day off, I decided to take a whole different approach and to push forward with a different medium and to see what I can make of it. And then I would give up if I couldn't after that. And I'm really glad that I did push forward with it. I busted out my new soft pastels, and you can start to see some colors going down there. Then I use a gold Posca pen and some black brush pens and a whole range of different things to create a kind of dark and disturbing, but a kind of really emotive piece that's quite abstract, but I don't know, I think it has a real energy to it or something cool about it. And so actually I really end up liking it at the end, but it really made me suffer a bit along the way to be able to get to that stage. And I guess the moral of the story is it's worth pushing past those feelings of like you've just failed and you can't draw, or it's just not worked out right. Sometimes it's okay to abandon a piece and move on, but I think it's worth really just putting in everything first and trying a different approach first. And so that is it for today, and I finally got through the letters K and L. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. And in the comments below, take a guess for what the next letters are going to be. Is it M and N? Yes, M and N. take your guess down below. No cheating, or the art demons will get you. And I'll see you guys soon for another art adventure. Bye.